final output for printed circuit board layout using direct or manual drawing. Hi friends! So these are the things that are needed in our tutorial. Now, the first thing that we need to do is have a copy of the PCB layout. Rub the copper side of the PCB using steel wool or abrasive sponge scrubs. This removes the top oxide layer of copper as well as the photoresist layer. Sanded surface also allow marker to stick better. Now our PCB board is ready. The next step is to punch the hole from the sketch and mark it into the PCB board. Now I am marking the holes in my PCB so that I can easily sketch or draw it with a pencil. As you can see, a printed circuit board or PCB mechanically support and electrically connects electronic components using conductive tracks, pads and other features etched from copper sheets laminated into conductive substrate. Also, there are two PCB etching processes which are chemical etch and laser etch. For this case, we are using chemical etch. Luckily for us, there are other methods and techniques on how we can create and make our own PCB at home. So a PCB or printed circuit board mechanically supports electronic parts that are electrically connected with the help of conductive pathways, traces etches from copper sheets which are laminated onto a non-conductive substrate. Much of the electronic industry's assembly, PCB designs and quality control needs are set by standards which are set by the IPC organization. I am using the old method or direct drawing in this tutorial. Using a permanent marker, drawing the trace directly on copper, one layer of ink is not enough. So, let it dry for 10 minutes and redraw it again on top of the mix. Also, instead of permanent marker, you can also use nail polish. One layer is usually enough, but it is more expensive. For complicated and precise pattern like IC footprint, you can use letter transfer. This also works for adding text or drawing straight traces, and you can combine all these methods on the same PCB. Even if this method works, and I've used it for a long time, it's extreme time consuming and makes one PCB and the results looks hand-drawn. Assuming you already have a design, maybe created with some CAD software, printed on a magazine or even hand-drawn on a piece of paper, there are basically steps to get finished PCB. First, you have to transfer your design on the copper and then you need to etch the copper like what we are doing today. And finally, you do some mechanical work like drilling or cutting. In old way or direct drawing, the first problem you have to face is how you transfer your design to the copper. If you don't have the CAD software and need only one PCB, you can use the old method or direct drawing, using a permanent marker and drawing the traces directly on the copper. One layer of ink is not enough, so let it dry for 10 minutes and redraw it again on top of the layer to make it thicker. 2 layers are the strict minimum. 3 is much safer. If the ink is too thin, the enchant will eat the copper underneath. Instead of a permanent marker, you can also use nail polish. 1 layer is usually enough, but it is much more expensive. For complicated and precise pattern like IC footprints, you can use letter transfer. This also works for adding text or drawing straight traces. In addition, PCBs are also used by students and electronic hobbyists for their custom projects and applications. Some of the advantages of the DIY PCBs are it is cost-effective and highly reliable. It is also economical for high-volume production. It has color codes for different connections and are therefore easy to install. Somehow, some of the disadvantages is it has more layout effort. It has higher initial costs as compared to the point-to-point constructed circuit or the wire wrap. Etching of circuit board generates chemical, which is dangerous to the environment. Also, it cannot be updated once it gets printed. Usually, to etch the copper from the PCB, an aqueous solution of ferric chloride or iron chloride is used. It works quite well, but it's terribly slow. A fresh solution will probably etch a PCB in about 30 minutes. But as copper is pushed from the board, the enchant becomes saturated and less effective. The time required can easily double after a few PCBs. Furthermore, the speed of this reaction is also dependent on the temperature. The colder, the slower. Stirring the liquid will speed up the process. Heating it up and bubbling in some air will help as well. Ferric chloride is a dark brown liquid that will stain almost anything it touches, so cleaning and maintaining the equipment is a very delicate and unpleasant job. During the etching, you have to look after your PCB. If you leave it long in the solution, cracks and pads will start to be etched as well. And if you leave it way too long, all the copper will disappear. So, you have to check the status periodically to see when it is ready. Once the etching is done, all copper between the traces is gone, but you still have to remove the toner that is on the traces. This can be easily done by rubbing the PCB with an abrasive pad and some water. the result of the etching process. A nice and shiny PCB ready to be drilled and cut to size. I hope you like my video. Thanks for watching.